You know there's a weapon being used against you probably every single day, and you might not even see it. It's not a word, it's not an action, it's something far more powerful. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on digital silence.
Just think about that feeling, that cold drop in your stomach, the tightness right here in your chest. It's this universal wound in our digital world, and I'm here to tell you something really important. It is not just in your head.
You see those three little dots, kind of dancing on the screen? It feels like a promise, right? Like a connection is about to be made, a conversation loop is about to be closed, and you find yourself just leaning in, waiting. And then, poof, they just vanish. And you're left staring at your own words, just floating there in this digital void. The connection is cut. The conversation is dead.
But here's what you have to understand. That silence, it isn't empty, not at all. It's a message. It's a power play. And it is loaded with psychological ammunition. We're going to decode exactly what that message says. And you're going to want to stick with me because the final piece of this puzzle will hand the power right back to you.
Okay, so what's really going on inside your brain when this happens? This isn't just you being overly sensitive. This is a deep, primal biological reaction.
See, your brain is basically a prediction machine. It craves patterns. So message sent, message received. That's the pattern. When that pattern is suddenly broken, your brain doesn't just wait quietly. It goes on high alert. It screams threat, and it floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone. Your mind just starts racing, desperately trying to fill that void, and almost every story it tells itself is a dark one.
And here's the proof. This isn't an exaggeration. Neuroscientists have actually found that social rejection, being ignored, activates the exact same neural pathways as physical pain. Let that sink in for a second. The next time someone tells you to just get over it, you can tell them that scientifically speaking, being left on red literally hurts.
And because this pain is so predictable, some people have learned to weaponize it. See, silence isn't always an accident. Sometimes it's a deliberate attack. There's a name for this tactic. It's called strategic non-response, and it's a cornerstone of manipulation. By going silent, they create this emotional vacuum. And our natural instinct is to rush in and fill it. You start chasing, apologizing, trying to fix what you didn't even break. And in that moment, they've seized all the power.
Look at this. It's not a conversation. It's a chess game. Their silence is a strategic move designed to corner you. For them, it's not about collaboration. It's about control. They want you anxious enough to just fold, to surrender. The goal is not resolution. The goal is to win.
Now, this kind of human behavior isn't new, but our technology has poured gasoline on the fire. Our phones have turned this form of emotional punishment into a precise and devastating art form. Just think about it. Before, you had plausible deniability. You could say, maybe they're busy. But now you have evidence. The read receipt proves they saw it. The active now status proves they're on their phone. And that typing bubble that appears and then just vanishes, oh, that proves they started to reply and then chose to abandon you. There's just nowhere left to hide. Psychologists call this ambient awareness. It's that feeling that we are all constantly connected. So when that connection is suddenly, deliberately severed, it doesn't feel neutral. It feels like an attack. In a world of constant noise, silence has become the loudest and most intentional statement of all.
But we have to be honest here. It's not always malice. Sometimes the silence isn't a weapon aimed at you. Sometimes it's a symptom of their own private misery. And understanding the difference, well, that's crucial.
This chart lays it all out pretty clearly. Yeah, there's manipulation to control and punish, but there's also overwhelm, where they're just paralyzed, unable to find the right words. There's self-protection, where silence is a shield they learn to use to survive past conflicts. And sometimes it's just a mismatch. What feels like an emergency to you is just another Tuesday for them. The pain you feel is the same, but the intent, well, that is worlds apart.
Take a look at this image. This is overwhelm. This person isn't ignoring you to be cruel. They're drowning in their own anxiety. For them, every second that passes just adds more weight, making it even harder to reply. Their silence isn't a statement about your worth. It's a cry for help from their own internal chaos. But now we come to the most important part of all of this. Because regardless of their intent, malice, or misery, the damage to you is the same. And repeated silence, it leaves a scar.
This is the poison. This is the lie your brain starts to believe. It doesn't conclude, oh, they're a bad communicator. No. It concludes, I am not worth responding to. And you start to internalize their silence as a verdict on your own value.
And this creates a devastating psychological pattern I call learned smallness. You start to shrink. You edit your texts. You soften your opinions. You apologize for having needs. You learn to take up less space just to avoid the punishment of their silence. You literally trade your personality for a fragile piece.
And this is the result. This cracked mirror, that's you. Every unanswered message is another tiny crack in your self-worth. Over time, the person you see staring back at you is a fractured version of yourself, completely distorted by someone else's silence.
So how do you break free? How do you escape this prison? The answer isn't to text more or to demand a reply. The answer is internal. It's about taking your self-worth out of their inbox and putting it back in your own hands.
So here is the framework. It's called radical detachment. Number 1, delay your story. The panicked explanation you create in the first hour is almost always fiction. Give it 24 hours. 2, see the pattern. One missed text is an incident. A pattern of silence is information. 3, protect your energy. Stop pouring water into a bucket with a hole in it. And 4, master your silence. Not as a weapon, but as a shield. Your silence is your boundary.
And it all comes down to this. Send the message and then release it. Let it go. That open gate you see there, that's your new mindset. Your worth is not pending. It is not waiting in their inbox to be approved. It stays with you. Your peace can no longer be hostage by their reply. Digital silence is a powerful, invisible force. But once you can see it, once you understand the psychology behind it, it loses its power over you. You are no longer a victim of the void. You are the architect of your own peace. If this gave you a new perspective, subscribe for more explainers that decode the hidden forces shaping our lives.